Hello and welcome to the 414 Extra. Now, this is where we get the chance to look a little bit deeper into the most interesting elements of the content that we've just covered in the main show. So, I'd like to find out a little bit more about your current most favourites, successful applications of AI in projects that you've delivered.
Okay, I can talk about two particular examples that are current favourites of ours. The first one is an organic project, and when I say organic, I mean organic search, so it's SEO related. So we have a customer that is a garden client. The name is Sarah Raven, a very famous flower and gardening retailer. And we've been working with them for quite some time. Now what we did for them is we had to work out how to use SEO to increase their traffic but also their sales, because they're very sales driven, being a retailer. Now the thing about SEO is it's very much about visibility and traffic and things like that, and it's not always directly related to actual sales. But what we did to make this work is we analysed their pages. So we sat down and we said, first of all, what kind of page on the website is most likely to drive a sale? And we looked at product pages and category pages and information pages, and we ran them through a regression analysis model where we're effectively looking at past behaviour to identify whether a particular type of page is more likely to get a conversion. Using that analysis, we then identified that category pages work better. And a category page being a page, for example, if you're selling dahlias or tulips, a category page contains lots of different products of the same type, right? We found that people are more likely to convert if they land on a category page than if they land on a single product page. So we focused on those pages. Once we had that analysis, which we had done using the regression model, we then started to look at how do we increase sales on those pages using organic search. And it actually was really simple what we did. We looked at the product, one of the products in search results, and we had a look at how the pages appear in search results. We identified that there are two pages that appear side by side in Google, for example. One of them is a blog post and one of them is a category page. So if you're searching for a particular flower, such as dahlias, you would get two results. One is how to look after dahlias or how to grow dahlias. The other one is a category page to buy dahlias. But it wasn't well written, it wasn't well optimized to signal to the reader or to the searcher that one was for purchasing and one was for information. So we simply just rewrote the information so that the signaling and the signposting on the pages was more obvious. As a result of that, more of the people who were searching to buy the product could see which of the pages to click on, and they went through to the purchase page. People who were looking for information went to the blog post, and then of course they can read the information. So simply by changing the way the pages appear in search results, we increased the activity on the page, the right people went to the page, the revenue went up considerably more than we'd predicted it would have done naturally. But all of that started by us analysing how different pages perform. Now, if you bear in mind a retail site has thousands of pages, thousands of products, it would take you until the cows come home to really look through that and prioritise things. So it's really important to apply some kind of machine learning model or regression analysis or AI technology to kind of do that work for you, to then give you the answers you need so that you can then act on that.
Got it. What is regression analysis?
Regression analysis is effectively, it's about regressing back through past activity. So you can take multiple data points. So in this example, we looked at daily sales for I think a year. So we could then think, right, on one particular day, if you analyse a page, you might think, oh, okay, 3 people went to that page and bought a product. That doesn't really tell you much because the next day maybe nobody did. So we look at the behaviour over time to build a picture of how that page is likely to perform. And in the real world, it would be like, for example, a retailer measuring footfall. So if you have, for example, Marks and Spencer's food hall and they have 2 doors, they could do some analysis that says if more people come in through the front door, are they more likely to buy, bread and chocolate? So if they come in through the back door, are they likely to just walk straight through and not see anything? So you can do all kinds of analysis based on that, but looking at one person's behaviour on one particular occasion doesn't give you the information. What regression analysis does is it looks at a period of time and looks for trends and patterns and that kind of stuff. So it gives you a much more coherent picture of how a particular event or page or product would perform for a multitude of circumstances.
And what was the other example then?
So the other example is paid search, so using AdWords, Google AdWords. And now paid search is interesting because it's very different from SEO. With SEO, you're trying to create a scenario where Google would recommend your page to people. With AdWords, you're choosing when you should appear, who you should appear to, and what they click on when they get there, so you have more control. But the interesting thing about that is it's very easy to waste your money. It's very easy, for example, to decide on the wrong keywords and your ads appear at the wrong time. It's very easy for people to click on your ads thinking you're one thing when you're not, and then you've wasted your money. The other thing that's really interesting, and Google's done a lot of work in this area using AI technology and really clever deep learning techniques in its algorithm, is it's able to automate really clever stuff. So for example, if you had 100 people clicking on your ad and visiting your website, they're not all going to behave the same way. Let's say 50% of them are female and 50% male. If 10% of them are over 65 and 30% of them are under 25, they're not all going to behave the same way. So you can identify, breaking down your audiences into categories, which ones are the most profitable. So now what we've done at Vertical Leap is we've created a way of automating a bid structure that looks at 7 or 8 different data points. So what device is the person on? Where are they? What keyword have they typed in? What age are they? What gender are they? And all these kinds of, and what interest group are they in based on what Google knows about them. So we can break this down and think, right, this particular person with these circumstances is worth spending £2 for a click. This particular person, we don't want to pay more than 10p for because they're very unlikely to convert. So we can actually really cleverly adjust our bidding on an automated basis by, instead of having to manually look up every data point, we can use basically a machine learning model that tells us every single day what we need to adjust to try to maximize our spend. By doing that, our profitability just increases rapidly because we either can use the same budget to get more clicks, which of course converts into more revenue, or we can spend less budget to get the same number of clicks, depending on what the client wants us to do.
That's very, very cool. Steve, thank you so much for your time today.